Alright. What is up, guys? Welcome back. This is All Into the Spectrum, and this is episode 25. Oh man, so we're gonna start off by apologizing to the listeners out there, Spectrum Gang. We took a 2-month hiatus. As in me, took a 2-month hiatus for good reason. You guys know we are experiencing some crazy turbulence here in USA, and I needed some space. I needed to get right mentally. I would say that's the reason for the break. So last podcast I hit you guys with episode 24, which took place in June. So in that episode, it was a family road trip. Be the change you want to see. Crypto, that was around the same time the Floyd fight happened. So let's pick up some pace and let's update you guys. So July happened. July was my birthday. Officially turned 20. And that was in July. July 28th, officially turned an adult. All right, guys. So birthday happened. Me, Nat, and my family, friends included, we went on a catamaran boat, super dope boat trip that happened here in Fort Lauderdale by the sea. It was amazing. We experienced some cool rain. We chartered that boat through Boat Setter, a company that's family friendly and close to us. And that happened in July. Then August happened. You had my mom's birthday. She's officially half a century now, which is amazing. And we celebrated her August, and I did some traveling also in that month of August. I went and took a trip to the Farron Farm in Missouri, St. Louis, St. Charles County. Amazing place to visit and get away from all this commotion. We celebrated the 40th anniversary of Natalie's parents. It was an amazing time. So glad to be there. So glad to be invited out there and celebrate with the family. And that brought us one step closer to our relationship, you know. Like, that's one of the biggest milestones in relationships, is actually meeting the family of the significant other whom you're dealing with. Meeting the family, spending time around them for a couple of weeks at a time, getting to see personalities, and just learning about the people that she grew up with all her life. So that happened in August. And then September. So now we're dropping an episode of September. So 2 months. I took 2 months off just to get in a more sane space, you know, like not feeling like I need to fucking hustle all this content out there and put out all this cinematography, vlogs, creating. So I basically took a few weeks off for that reason. You know, I needed to get that space in and not do anything. I had a lot of catching up to do as far as like literature, reading some books, listening to some podcasts. I would say I basically took a break from the internet. You know, I was feeling like I needed to just take a break, you know, like when you're just going, you know, you're not really getting the satisfaction you want, is really when people just quit. So I decided to not quit, but to take a mental break as needed and just focus on me for a little bit. So in that time, I got really creative. I've got new music coming out for you guys actually now in the next couple of days. So I'm excited to work on that. But we could talk about some of the main things that are going on right now in the media. So we know there were big versus battles. You know, you had the Lox versus Dipset. I thought that was dope. Just celebrating hip hop. You know, I grew up on like Jadakiss, the Lox, P. Diddy, all those guys, and then Dipset, obviously being from New York City, Harlem. You know about Dipset, Cameron, Joel Santana, Super Fashion, Skull Gang, all that. So that happened. Then you had the Jake Paul fight versus Tyron Woodley, which I did not place any bets on that time. I thought that was a very interesting fight, but These dudes are really, really strong on captivating the internet and knowing how to actually capitalize on a moment. So that's what happened with Tyrone Woodley. He took a big bag home, capitalized on the moment, he got his hype, and now he's just faded away. Jake Paul too. So at the moment, what's happening, you got the Ja Rule versus Fat Joe. I didn't actually watch that, but I saw a bunch of the highlights. I don't really like that style of hip-hop. Like, if it's on in the club, I'll be honest, I'll listen to it, or if it's on like a party where I'm at, I'll listen to it, but I'm not necessarily going out of my way to search for Ja Rule or Fat Joe. Like, back when he was fucking with Weezy, Make It Rain days, and like Terror Squad and shit before DJ Khaled went off and blew up on his own, I was definitely fucking with the music back then. But at the moment, I'm not too hype on that particular verses. So that was fire. Let's see what happens next. So supposedly they're going to be having verses now with P. Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri. That's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be fucking cool. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some other things right now. So Fresh and Fit just did a podcast with Adam22 and AD and Terrell, because they were just down in Pensacola, Florida for that big boot gang, aka John Gabbana versus Supreme Patty, which was a very good fight. If you guys didn't catch that, you can go catch the highlights on YouTube. Super, super dope fight. I'm gonna say it was a disadvantage on Supreme Patty. Supreme Patty definitely had a nice stance. He was throwing his 1-2 jabs. He trained pretty hard for this. John Gabbana, I would say, he's athletic. You can see he was moving around. He's not new to this. He's been in a bunch of fights. He knows how to throw a couple and get back on his feet, whatever the case may be. That fight, I didn't actually place any bets on either, but I did see some numbers, in favor of Supreme Patty, just based on weight. He weighed like maybe 10, 15 pounds more than Boot Gang, so he was scheduled to take that from the beginning. But that happened. Boot Gang left with the win, so I heard there was a grand prize of $50,000. So it looks like he won $50K, and he's got bragging rights. He definitely got his first fight out there, and he took that home. So Supreme Patty, I'm sure you are a little discouraged, but you'll probably get another fight out there. Supposedly you were going to fight Little Xan, and that never happened. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and dive into the Karen Civil beef versus Jason Lee and Joyner Lucas. I actually can say for the most part that I completely understand in this scenario, like where things can be taken out of context and people can be under the assumption that they have direct ties to you just because they have put money in position for you to work for them, if that's what was supposed to happen. In this sense, this is just a game, man. Like, this is really just a game, like, as far as like being someone with influence and being able to take money from someone who's on the come up. That's where your brand really comes into favor. Like, if you have a brand and a person is going to contract you for a job, which it can be having influence, to getting their music heard, or to getting them on some mix radios, or to getting them in front of some stages, college crowds, whatever, I definitely have to agree that that's just a game, man. Like, this particular woman, Karen Civil, who is PR, she worked with Hillary Clinton, Oprah, she worked with Fabulous, she's working with Bobby Shmurda, she's the one who helped him basically get the private jet. Quavo, she hyped his whole release up, if you will. So that's her job, is to bring hype into someone's name. So I have to agree with the fact that the game is the game, and Joyner Lucas at the time was very, very naive in putting money into a brand where he necessarily didn't have any satisfaction in the end. He believes that he wasted $60K. He believes that his money was just taken from him and he never got to see any outcome. which I find that interesting. Dude, you blown up. You did come back and you outed her. Then you have what happened with Jason Lee, her hiring companies or independent contractors to remove his Instagram. He runs Hollywood Unlocked or something like that. He's a big fucking spicy gay dude, but at the end of the day, he's successful, so you cannot knock him, especially if he's in that field, which Karen is in, and he's competing with her. So he's selling stories, he's creating controversy. So yeah, it would be in her favor to knock that guy's page off, because she might have had an artist, which it could have been Bobby Shmurda, it could have been any of her artists that she's worked with in the past. They could have been on that page, and Jason Lee's team was simply slandering them. So her job is to be in the favor of the artist and to remove that stuff and to get it taken down. So I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that, but I do see the disadvantage for Jason Lee knowing that his page is at risk. You know, that's how he feeds his family. That's how he makes his bread. So, yep, that happened. That was a big deal in the media for a couple of days. Then you have what's going on right now with No Jumper and Adam 22. They went on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Shout out to Fresh and Fit, Myron, and what's this guy, Walter or something like that. I forget his name. Fresh. They had on a girl who's a sex worker. She does porn, she does OnlyFans, she does all these things, but she's a reoccurring guest in their podcast. So her name is Kiki Clout. I've definitely never seen her like in any kind of like social media life besides on this podcast. She wants clout. She's a clout chaser. It's okay. It's in her name. So what happened to her is that she got into an argument with Adam 22 on the Fresh and Fit podcast live, and it was just a simple disagreement about her not being able to do the podcast again. And Adam basically kind of stuck it to her, and he called her boring, and he said that your fucking porn career is mid, and that's why you were never gonna be on twice. So she got butthurt and got her feelings hurt, which are understandable. You know, you got basically a successful man telling you that you are fucking trash and your fucking porn career is mid. Verbatim is what he said, and he kind of called her out and said that you're salty because I was more interested in your friend than you, which is kind of a male misogynistic tactic to show interest into one particular person more than the other. So that can create like jealousy and envy. That's basically what happened with her, Kiki. So she got jealous and she was never invited on again. So she always had a grudge against Adam, and she talked a bunch of shit in her podcast about him, and she made it known that she was going to call him out when she got there. So that was a point that happened on the podcast. She basically called him out, and she said that he judged her, and he basically talked down on her, and he shitted on her. He just didn't give a fuck about her. So I would definitely have to say that that is normal, and that is something that happens out there, especially in media. Not everybody's going to give you your flowers, especially when you're asking for them. So it's okay that happened. So let's talk about me for a second. There's a new app out there on the internet. It's called Underground Sound. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. So yeah, it's called Underground Sound. It's located in the App Store. You artists out there that are listening to this, I suggest you download that and you put your music out on that app. Just because it's directly tied into the underground. Like a lot of the kids that make these reaction videos and they do these Who's Who videos, they are on this site. So that's kind of how they're fishing out talent at the moment. So it's called Underground Sound. I just signed up to the website like 2 days ago. And 2 days ago, I signed up to the website and I put an unreleased song on there. So 2 days ago, I signed up to Underground Sounds and I put an unreleased song on there, and that song is called In the Light. So I'm already on the charts on there. So I hit the top 10 charts. Like they have a chart all the way up to what? Like I think the chart's up to 40. Or no, they like I think they probably got 50. So they have a top 50 chart on there, and it's all underground people, like all people that are up and coming. And this is how you can get more fans and more listeners and more organic people to fuck with you, because it's the underground. So I dropped the track on there, unreleased. It's called In the Light. It's a super fire song. I kind of just wanted to throw it up there just to see, like, okay, let me see if I can actually get some traction. So I threw the track up there. I hit the top 5 immediately. And I got posted on their page, and it kind of brought a lot of attention to my page. A lot of underground artists, they're young. Like, I'd say they're under 20, you know, for sure. They're in their teens, high school and shit like that. So they're hitting me up, they're trying to cover me, and they're trying to work with me, which is exciting because I just started it. You know, I just literally started on the website 2 days ago, dropped the shit's going crazy. So now I'm working on a new idea to put out new music, which is going to come up soon. Super dope song. I'll probably preview it here as my sleeper for today. It's still unnamed. I don't really know what I want to call it. It's probably going to be like, I don't even know what I want to call it. Yeah, it's still unnamed, and it's unreleased. So I'm going to release that probably after this podcast, because then I have some vlog content I got to work on. And I just wanted to put together some fresh feel work for you guys. Like, I haven't talked on the camera for a minute, and I felt it's necessary to keep up with the podcast because it's another source of outlet, you know, get my thoughts out there. Like I said, I took a break for mental health and just literally getting my shit together because I felt like I wasn't getting any recognition, which is okay because I wasn't really putting my best foot forward. So almost like a rebirth. I just got the fucking name for the song. I'm gonna call that song Born Again, and I'm gonna use my cover art as one of my baby photos. It's going to be called Born Again. I'm going to use that for this next song, and I'm going to use as my unreleased. So if you can look here, this is on the site. I'll hold it up against that. That's on the site there, and you can see your boys in the top 2 spot. So I'm trying to take over this particular app and just have all my music on there so people know who the fuck I am. So it's an underground app that a lot of kids are on, and I just want them to get familiar with seeing my name. And I plan on putting out a new video, music video to Born Again. That's the new name for the track. I officially just found it, and I'm naming it that. On another note, we hit 20K on Instagram. Thank you guys very much for all your support out there. Continue to keep your post notifications on. I did a big photo dump. Me in St. Charles County, me traveling around and going to the zoos and stuff like that in St. Louis. Check out the Instagram. I'm private right now, but I don't plan on going public until I want to get verified again, because you need to be public to get verified. So I'm going to wait a little bit, get some more publications up under me, and then I'll go public. So let's go into bingeable. So I've been binge watching an older show that came out in like 2010 or something like that. It's on Netflix now. It's called Shameless. It's like 10 seasons or something. I've watched about 7 or 8 seasons. I love that show. It's a great show. Thank you, Nat, for suggesting it to me. She suggested it to me. I watched it. Also watched Clickbait, which was in like the top 5. And also watched Racket, which was in like the top 10 a couple weeks ago. It's with Denzel Washington's son. I forget his name, but he's a good actor. Very good actor. But, yep. That's all I got for you guys this week, so I'm going to cut it short because I'm going to get ready to go eat some dinner. I just really wanted to escape for 20 minutes and record some pod, let you guys know that I'm still here and I'm still alive, wearing that Kids See Ghost merch. You know, this is that Camp Flog Nod shit from 2017. I'll show you guys the back, and from here I'm going to drop the sleeper, and from that, after the sleeper, we out. So I'll see you guys in the next podcast. It's probably going to be a little bit more different. I maybe want to do something outside, do something by the pool. Who knows? But later, check out the new vlog. Going to come out in 3 to 4 days, and that's going to have me riding around. It's going to have me flying some drone. It's going to have me working out in it, you know, having fun, living life. So I'll see you guys in the next one. New content coming soon. Thank you for supporting your boy. All Into the Spectrum. Sleeper, going into it. Born Again. We out.
My bitch dreamy. My bitch, she super trendy. Garage doors on 40s, yeah, yeah. The money too loud, they try to extort me, yeah. I'm thinking out loud, they just can't ignore me, yeah. Playing violin with your ego, playing in Highland, girl. New model bitch boy. Took a trip out to Florence, threw away all the Wi-Fi codes and the cell phone tourists. Only way you can reach me the landline if you even know the codes on the sign. Tryna read a wave in a wave box, tryna ride the wave, but you can't fly. Tell you my darkest secrets, just don't run your mouth. Let you in, baby girl, but I just might kick you out. Pull out something new and took a different route. I was interchanging your life, but you acting different now. Past the surface, we lose service. Might return your passion curvy. I'm in that hand, sip it slow. If you feel nervous when you speak, you know it's perfect. I want you private, closed curtains. I dive deep inside your cervix. Ibity bitch, stuffing the magnums inside the Birkin. Live it up. You can't call for it twice. This ain't no claim like it's taxidermy. Clearing the cash out. The bigger I get, they mad. Wow, why the fuck you so mad? The higher I get, the better. The longer she waits, you wetter. Throw my fake smile on for the day, look good for the camera. I need to see a physician about my addiction. This shit getting out of hand as soon as the doctor will fill my prescription.
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney,
Shakespeare, Walt
Nike,
Disney,
Google. Now who's gonna be
yeah.
the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it
Shut the
yourself?
fuck up,
Halfway.
Sway, and don't talk to me.
You ain't got the answers, man.
Talk to that
You
nigga
ain't got
Kanye.
the answers.
He ain't got shit
You ain't
on
got
us.
the
He ain't got
answers.
shit
You ain't
on
got the
us, yeah.
answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
My nigga been doing this. My nigga been doing this.